They said there was never enough room for me. So I built a world where there was room for everyone, except them. My name is Lena Hart, and this is the part of my life no one in my family ever expected me to share. For 8 long summers my mother's beach house became a private kingdom, a kingdom I was never allowed to enter. Every March the phone would ring and her voice would come, sweet as honey and twice as cutting. Oh sweetheart, we're full again this year. You understand. The kids need space. By kids, she meant my sister Claire's 4. My own too. Apparently invisible. I was the afterthought. The maybe next year daughter. The one she introduced at holidays with a shrug. Lena's still doing her little design projects. You know, freelance. Meanwhile Claire's crew sprawled across that cottage like royalty. Sand castles on Instagram, bonfires at dusk, while my children and I sat in a city apartment pretending a kiddie pool on the balcony was an adventure. I worked 12-hour days building a digital design studio from nothing. Yet to my family I was the girl still figuring it out. And every time my kids asked why grandma never had space for us, a knot formed in my throat so tight I could barely breathe. Last year everything shifted. A tech firm signed a contract big enough to change our lives. But I told no one. Instead of buying a flashy car or broadcasting success, I stayed silent, driving the same dented hatchback while I searched for something bigger. Something that felt like justice. I found it 2 hours south of that smug little beach house. A rundown 12-room resort with salt-stained walls and a stretch of untouched shoreline. Others saw decay. I saw a blank canvas. Within months, crews hammered and painted while I poured every saved dollar into the dream. An infinity pool mirrored the sky. Balconies caught the sunrise. I named it Silver Dunes, a place built from the scraps of every not enough room I'd ever heard to be why summer bookings overflowed. Still, I said nothing when Labor Day arrived. I called the relatives who had quietly loved me through years of silence. Uncle Ray and Aunt June, my cousins who never judged, friends who had shown up when it mattered. Pack your bags, I told them. 3 days. My treat. 22 people arrived, jaws dropping as they stepped onto the private beach. Laughter bounced off the new cedar decks. Children chased kites against a rose-gold sunset. And my mother? My sister? Not invited. Word traveled fast. By the second evening my phone lit up. Lena, where are you? Ray says you own a resort? Why weren't we told? I let her words hang in the air like smoke. Funny, Mom. I thought there wasn't enough room. Silence. Then a whisper, half disbelief, half something else. But we're family. Exactly, I said and ended the call. The story couldn't stay hidden. At a cousin's wedding months later, my mother approached, tentative, eyes searching. Lena, you look wonderful. The resort? People talk about it. I gave her a polite nod, nothing more. Claire tried next, wine-heavy and brittle. You're tearing the family apart. I met her gaze. 8 years you watched Mom shut us out. 8 years of jokes about my fake job. That wasn't family. That was convenience. Her lips trembled. Mom thought she was protecting you. We thought you couldn't afford. I offered to pay every single year. I cut in. You just liked believing I was beneath you. The music from the dance floor swelled, drowning whatever excuse she tried to form. Today Silver Dunes is booked a year in advance. I've opened a mountain retreat as well, with a spa that smells of cedar and wild mint. My children Noah and Ivy run across those hallways like they own them because in a way they do. Mom calls sometimes. She talks about forgiveness, about bringing the family back together. Maybe one day we'll find a softer middle ground. Maybe not. Here's what I've learned. Family isn't the people who claim the biggest house or the loudest voice. Family is the ones who save you a seat when the room feels full. And when no one saves you that seat, you build a bigger table, so when someone tells you there isn't enough space for you, smile. Pick up a hammer. Create a room so vast they have to whisper your name. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply space of your own.